Dungeons & Dragons is a fantasy tabletop role-playing game that was invented in 1974 by Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson. It popularized role-playing games and is one of the most popular and best-selling games of all time. An estimated 20 million people have played the game, and it has grossed more than $1 billion in book and equipment sales. D&D has been a pop culture staple, most recently being featured on the widely popular Netflix series Stranger Things. What's the whole purpose of Dungeons and Dragons?
I don't know, it's kind of like a video game.
Yeah.
It's like a book or anything, you just like tell a story. It's
you
follow the storyline, and then at the end usually there's like the climax. It's like a movie or a book or whatever.
You usually have coming into a fight with a god or something.
Some crazy shit. Like some people go in for like wild stuff like fighting gods. Some people it's just like you have to like defeat a raider or like or you just find something. It's not always like a fight, It's just like
it's like a really complicated game of risk.
It all depends on the DM what they want to do. So like some of them could be you go fight a god. Others are just like you want to save a town from being annihilated. It all depends on in the end what the DM wants to do. That's what.
We're making characters for it. The book that players get, and so they just go through that book and just follow the rules in it, and then they just write down like what the book says, and that's pretty much it.
It's complex your first time through, but once you play one game, it becomes old hat really fast.
So like, what do you do to prepare for like each time you guys are gonna play?
You need like time. That's one thing, or like I don't know. It's kind of like creative writing where you just like think of a character.
Your first session will always be pretty slow at first because you're getting into the character. You're first understanding who they are. So your first session usually takes the longest, and when you're getting ready for that first session. It's mostly longest because of you're getting your character sheet together. Mm-hmm. But once you're going to like the second, the third, the fourth, you're understanding more of your character. So it's not really you preparing. You're more so preparing yourself for whatever the DM decides they want to throw at you. And whatever they decide to throw at you the day is like, oh, you just gotta take it. Or you can avoid it somehow.
I guess.
If you were able to like get out of that kind of situation.
I think the popularity of Stranger Things and them featuring Dungeons and Dragons on the show has made the game more popular.
Yes.
Yeah. So all the episodes of Stranger Things, like the names of them, are all D&D references to 1E, like the very first edition. I don't know what it's called. I just call it 1E.
It's 1E.
But like everything's based off. It's like everything is like based off D&D. So like if you play D&D, then you'll get the references in all of Stranger Things. Because like and spoiler alerts, by the way. In the first season, the Demogorgon's like a creature in D&D. In the second season, that weird like ghost creature.
You're going too far. Not there.
Basically, the second creature is basically another based off of like some Lovecraftian thing. It's basically Stranger Things is Lovecraftian horror, and so it takes like since D&D is like all different types of like it takes all different types of monsters from different horror genres and like action adventure genres. It just takes it from there. So like. So it's based off like Cthulhu or something.
Whereas like some D&D is like just totally made up by the DM. Like you can just invent your own story if you want. But there are also like books and like preset adventures. Yeah. So a lot of the like Stranger Things, for example, is all based off of these like pre-written adventures that like I don't want to say everyone knows, but like they are in text. Like
there's also like some that are not only just pre-written by Wizards of the Coast, but there are also books out there that are by other players or DMs who wrote them, and also the deep based off that. Yeah, so it's all based off of what they've gotten from D&D.
Also, three are already kind of in like a loose group because you're all kind of going after a similar.
History. Cool.
Y'all are going through like similar kind of occurrences. Mm-hmm. You guys have noticed like things have been changing weirdly. Okay. Like the seasons aren't right, and from this like you like from your tribe and stuff like it's like you have heard like stories of emissaries of the gods coming from the sky in like a spectacular fashion to lead your tribe into war. And you see like you see this creature. It's like a puma, but there are tentacles coming out of his back, and it seems to and like
why the tentacles?
when they're walking towards you, you notice them, and they're kind of like they're walking towards you, but then those kind of like disappear and appear like somewhere near where they are.
Huh.
And
that's disconcerting. Spooky.
They approach you, and everyone roll initiative.
Hey. Alright, time to see who goes first. I'm probably gonna go last.
They're stalking towards you warily. they aren't springing at you immediately. Here's what happens. These two bear-sized pumas walk towards, like slowly stalk towards you. And then they pounce. As they charge forward.
Wait.
A session's kind of like just like a game where you just meet up and just play, and then like, I don't know, it's kind of like a long video game where it's like you meet like every 3 hours to just try to complete it, and then eventually it just ends.
Yeah, it ends because you reach the final objective,
Yeah.
or people just lose interest and walk away from the campaign.